All right, finally. Been acting up today, but finally got us on live here. And as you know, today is day 11 of 1825, where I'm studying the subject of leadership. And today we're going to continue reading our book. Why am I doing this? Because I need to be a leader if I'm going to accomplish the mission that for my life, and that is to save souls, develop disciples, and lead leaders. Hey, good morning to you. Deacon Michelle online with me already. Well, if you don't know, I've been studying for the last 11 days leadership, and I'm reading the book, The 21 Indispensable. Oh, man, that's not great. Let me see. Qualities of a Leader by John Maxwell. And I do this for an hour a day, and I put it online so I can be accountable. It helps me to be accountable. So we're going to start today with quality number 15. Hold on, let me make sure. Oh, yeah. Quality number 15, which is relationships. So you write that down. So you get to join in with me studying leadership here. And it says, if you get along, subtitle, they'll go along. All right, so let's jump into this chapter here. The most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people. Theodore Roosevelt, American president. The second quote, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. There we go. The best medicine. If you're not a physician, you've probably never heard facts. Exactly, facts. If you're not a physician, you've probably never heard the name William Osler. He was a doctor, university professor, and author who practiced medicine and taught until his death at age 70 in 1919. His book, Principles and Practice of Medicine, influenced the preparation of physicians for more than 40 years in the entire English-speaking world, China and Japan. Yet, that was not his greatest contribution to the world. Osler worked on putting the human heart back into the practice of medicine. Osler's penchant, how do you say that? Penchant? Gotta look it up because I don't know. I don't think I've ever read that word before. Let's see how we say this word. Penchant. If it is, I don't know even what is this? Penchant. It means a strong and continued inclination. Let's see how this sounds. Penchant. Okay, penchant. All right. What else does it mean? A strong and habitual liking for something or the tendency to do something. Penchant. All right. Learned a new word today. Penchant. Okay. Osler's penchant for leadership became apparent while he was still a child. He was a natural ringleader and the most influential student in his school. He always showed an uncanny ability with people. Everything Osler did spoke to the importance of building relationships. As he grew older and became a doctor, he founded the Association of American Physicians so that medical professionals could come together, share information, and support one another. As a teacher, he changed the way medical schools function. He brought students out of dry lecture halls and into the hospital wards to interact with patients. He believed that students learn first and best from the patients themselves. But Osler's passion was to teach doctors compassion. he told a group of medical students, "There is a strong feeling abroad among people. You see it in the newspapers that we doctors are given over nowadays to science, that we care more for the disease and its scientific aspects than for the individual. I urge upon you to, in your own practice, to care more, particularly for the individual patient. Dealing as we do with poor, suffering humanity, we see the man unmasked, exposed to all the frailties and weaknesses. And you have to keep your heart soft and tender, lest you have too great a contempt for your following creatures." Well, you had to be a doctor to write that paragraph. You could have said that a lot easier. All right. Osler's ability to show compassion and build relationships can be capsulized by his treatment of a patient during the 1918 epidemic of influenza pneumonia. Osler usually limited his work to hospitals, but because of the magnitude of the epidemic, he treated many patients in their home. The mother of a little girl recounted how Osler visited her child twice a day, speaking to her gently and playing with her to entertain her and gather information about her symptoms. Knowing the child was nearing death, Osler arrived one day with a beautiful red rose wrapped in paper, the last rose of the summer, grown in his own garden. He presented it to her, explained that even roses couldn't stay as long as they wanted in one place, but had to go to a new home. The child seemed to take comfort from his words and the gift. She died a few days later. Osler died the next year. One of his British colleagues said of him, "So passed into history, untimely, even though he had attained unto the allotted span, the greatest physician in history." And above all, it is as a friend that during his lifetime we regard Osler, as one who possessed the genius of friendship to a greater degree than anyone of our generation. It was his wonderful interest in all of us that was the outstanding feature. It was from his humanity, his extraordinary interest in his fellows, that all his other powers seemed to flow. Wow, I'm telling you, that was a difficult read just right there for me. They could have wrote that a little simpler. All right, but fleshing it out. The ability to work with people and develop relationships is absolutely indispensable to effective leadership. According to the May 1991 issue of Executive Female Magazine, a survey was taken of employers asking for the top 3 traits they desired in employees. Number 1 on the list was the ability to relate with people. 84% responded that they sought good interpersonal skills. Only 40% listed education and experience in their top 3. And if employees need good people skills, think about how much more critical those skills are for leaders. People truly do want to go along with people that they get along with. And while someone can have people skills and not be a good leader, he cannot be a good leader without people skills. There's my first note. Cannot be a good leader without people skills. All right. What can a person do to manage or cultivate good leadership or relationship as a leader? It requires 3 things. How to grow relationships, how to grow as a leader. Number uno. That's one for my non-bilingual friends. Have a leader's head understand people. A leader's head understand people. The first quality of a relational leader is the ability to understand how people think and feel. As you work with others, recognize that all people, whether leaders or followers, have something in common. They like to feel special, so sincerely compliment them. They want a better tomorrow, so show them hope. They desire direction, so navigate for them. They are selfish, so speak to their needs first. They get low emotionally, so encourage them. They want success, so help them win. All right. Once again, I see people jumping in and out. So, reading the 21 Indispensable Qualities of a Leader by John C. Maxwell. Doing this 108, 1,825 days. I've committed to studying the subject of leadership because I want to become an exceptional leader. And the only way you do that is by studying and then practicing. So, reading this book, we're on quality number 15, which is relationships. Recognizing these truths as a leader, or a leader must still be able to treat people as individuals. The ability to look at each person, understand him, and connect with him is a major factor in relational success. That means treating people differently, not all the same as one another. Marketing expert Rod Nichols notes that in business, this is particularly important. I jack that up, particularly important. If you deal with every customer in the same way, you will only close 25% to 30% of your contacts because you will only close one personality type. But if you learn how to effectively work with all four personality types, you can conceivably close 100% of your contacts. This sensitivity can be called the soft factor of leadership. You have to be able to adapt your leadership style to the person you're leading. Okay, adapt your personality style to the person you're leading. See, that's a good one because I'm the type where I like just tell me, boom, hit me with it, and let's move on. Some people need to be compassion. You got to be extra compassionate, extra soft with them. And then you got some people people are different. So good to hear that. Number two. Oh wow, 15 minutes in, we're already a quarter down. Have a leader's heart love people. I guess we tend to, like the Bible says, treat people the way you want to be treated. But then you always think, love your neighbor as yourself. So we treat people the way we want to be treated. But the truth is, when you think of that a little bit differently, you want to be treated the way you like to be treated. So when you treat other people, you got to treat them the way they like to be treated. And that takes personal relationship, getting to know them. See, this is good. Yeah. Love people. President and CEO of Definitive Computer Services, Henry Gruland, captures this idea. Being a leader is more than just wanting to lead. Leaders have empathy for others and a keen ability to find the best in people, not the worst, but truly caring for others. Very good quote. You cannot, I guess that's why I made the book. You cannot be a truly effective leader, the kind that people want to follow, unless you love people. This is so good. I'll have to listen to the rest later. Have a wonderful day, Pastor. Oh, thank you. Same to you, Deacon Michelle. This is good. It's changing me. Hopefully, people who want to listen to it, it helps them. You don't got to read the book. You can listen to me read it. Have a great day. Love you. You cannot be a truly effective leader, the kind that people want to follow, unless you love people. Physicist Albert Einstein put it this way: strange is our situation here on Earth. Each of us comes for a short visit, not knowing why, yet sometimes seeming to divine a purpose. But yet sometimes seeming to divine a purpose. From the standpoint of daily life, however, there is one thing we do know: that man is here for the sake of other men. Wow, I like that last part. Man is here for the sake of other men. We're not here for selfish reasons. I like to look at it. We're here to serve one another. This is why I think it's so important to become the best you that you can become, the best in your field, the best person, because you're able to serve people in a greater way. So we have to make that decision. Man is here for the sake of other men. That's Albert Einstein. The great New Jerseyan. All right, number 3. Extend a leader's hand. Extend a leader's hand, help people. All right. Leroy, not Leroy, Lay space Roy. That's funny. Leroy. Leroy H. Kurtz of General Motors said, the fields of industry are strewn with the bones of those organizations whose leadership became infested with dry rot, who believed in taking instead of giving, who didn't realize that the only asset that could not be replaced easily were the human ones. That's what they're trying to do, or they were trying to do in these different retail stores by removing cashiers and stuff like that. I understand it's more cost effective, but people draw people. People like to be around people. As much as we like to think we're antisocial, go to work tomorrow and let no one be there. Some people were like, that would be heaven. No, you would want, because you would want some help. You might need some information. You might need help picking up something. You might need anything. We're so connected, and I think we don't realize that sometimes. I can honestly say that for myself. Sometimes I don't recognize how much I need other people in my life, because we like to think that we can do it all on our own. We can't. People respect a leader who keeps their interests in mind. If your focus is on what you can put into people rather than what you can get out of them, they'll love and respect you. And these create a great foundation for relationship building. All right, let me write that down. If your focus is on what you can put into people rather than what you can get. You can get out of them. Comment, they'll love and respect you. And these create a great foundation for building relationships. All right. Reflecting on it. How are your people skills? How are your people skills? Do you mix well with strangers? Do you interact well with all kinds of people? Can you find common ground readily? What about long term interactions? Are you able to sustain relationship? Is your relational skills, if your relationship skills or relational skills are weak, your leadership will suffer. Write that down. I know I need to be better in this area. If your relational skills are weak, your leadership will suffer. Bringing it home. To improve relationships, do the following. Number one, improve your mind. Ooh. Improve your mind. Your ability to understand people needs improvement. Jump started by reading several books on the subject. I recommend books written by Daniel Carnegie. Did I say Daniel? Dale. How did I get Daniel Carnegie out of that? Carnegie, Alan, Loy, Guinness and Les Perot the third read. Then spend more time observing people and talking to them to apply what you learn. Strengthen your heart. You know what's amazing to me? Like, we don't learn these type of things in school, like communication skills. We don't learn like um, relationship skills. All we learn is how to just do education. But I believe, this is part of education that we should have all learned when we were children. Why are we not having a leadership class where we learn these things at school? Okay, all right, okay. It says, if you're not as caring towards others as you could be, you need to get your focus off yourself. Get your focus off yourself. Make a list of little things you can do to add value to friends and colleagues. Then try to do one of them every day. Wow, now that's the challenge part. Do. Don't wait until you feel like it to help others. Act your way into your feelings. Repair a hurting relationship. Number 3. All right. Think of a valued long term relationship that has faded. Do what you can to rebuild it. Get in touch with the person and try to reconnect. If you had a falling out, take responsibility for your part in it and apologize. Try to better understand, love, and understand and serve that person. Daily takeaways. In a short story titled The Capital of the World, Nobel Prize winning author Ernest Hemingway tells about a father and a teenage son, Paco, whose relationship breaks down. After the son runs away from home, the father begins a long journey in search of him. Finally, as a last resort, the man puts an ad in the local newspaper in Madrid. It reads, Dear Paco, meet me in front of the newspaper office tomorrow at noon. All is forgiven. I love you. The next morning, in front of the newspaper office were 800 men named Paco, desiring to restore a broken relationship. Never underestimate the power of relationships on people's lives. Wow. Powerful story, huh? Number 16. Oh, wow. I'm going to need a new notebook. Number 16. Responsibility. If you won't carry the ball, you can't lead the team. carry the ball. You can't lead the team. Let's read these quotes here. Success on any major scale requires you to accept responsibility. Let me sit up properly. Let me sit up properly here. Okay. Success on any major scale requires you to accept responsibility. In the final analysis, the one quality that all successful people have is the ability to take responsibility. Michael Korda, editor-in-chief of Simon & Schuster. A leader can give up anything except final responsibility. Let me write that down. That's a John C. Maxwell original quote. A leader can give up anything except final responsibility. All right, let's see what Dr. Maxwell has to say here. The Alamo Revisited. In late 1980, where would I just get that? In late 1835, a group of Texas rebels lay siege to a small mission-turned fort in San Antonio, Texas. By the end of the year, the Mexican soldiers in it surrendered and headed south, leading the fort to the rebels' hand. The name of the old church building was the Alamo. That action set the stage for one of the great heroic events in United States history. The battle that occurred there in February and March of the following year is a story of valor and incredible responsibility. The battle at the Alamo between American settlers and the Mexican army was inevitable. For 25 years, the citizens of Texas repeatedly attempted to gain their independence from the Mexican government. And each time Mexican troops were promptly dispatched to suppress the rebellion. But this time it was different. The fort was manned by a resolute group of 183 volunteers, including seasoned soldiers and frontiersmen William Travis, Davy Crockett, and Jim Bowie. Their motto was victory or death. Jeez, that's a motto right there, huh? Let's see, let's write that down. Motto. Write these men's names down. William Travis, Davy Crockett. I think we've all heard that name. And Jim. I'm trying to think if I ever heard the other ones. I don't think so. Their motto. Victory or death. Man, that means we ready to die for this. That's ultimate responsibility. In late February, several thousand Mexican soldiers under the command of Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna marched on San Antonio to lay siege to the Alamo. When the Mexicans offered them terms for surrender, the rebel defenders held firm. And when the enemy told them they would give they would be given no quarter if they found if they fought, the Americans would not be moved. When it came when it became certain that battle was inevitable, the Texan sent a young man out to try to bring back reinforcements from the Texas Army. His name was John Bonham. He slipped out of the old mission at night and made his way 95 miles, good Lord, to Goliad for help. But when he arrived, he was told that no troops were available. So you telling me my man went 95 miles on foot, most likely? I don't know if bro had even had a vehicle. There was no vehicles at this time, was there? Let me see. I doubt it. No vehicles. First vehicle was made in 1886. Jeez, my man went 95 miles. Built different. Jeez. Can't get people to hardly go up the street. Hey, we're going to have a free event at the church this weekend. We'd love to have you. It is not just them. All of us can be like that. We have become so comfortable and complacent. For 11 days, Santa Anna pounded away at the Alamo. And on the morning of March 6, 1836, the Mexican army stormed the old mission. At the end of the battle, not a single man of the 183 defenders lived. But they had managed to take 600 enemy soldiers to the grave with them. And what happened to James Bondman, the messenger who had been sent to Goliad? It would have been easy for Bonham to simply ride away. But his sense of responsibility was too great. Instead, he rode back to the Alamo, made his way through enemy lines, and joined his comrades so that he could stand, fight, and die with them. Though the Americans were defeated at the Alamo, that battle was the turning point in the war with Mexico. Remember that Alamo became the cry in subsequent battles, rallying support against General Santa Anna and his troops. Less than 2 months later, Texas secured its independence. Man, it was like, so no troops were available. Man. All right, let's keep going. Wow, we're almost 40 minutes into this. Fleshing it out. Rarely in American culture today do you see the kind of responsibility displayed by Bonham and his companions. People now focus more on their rights than their responsibilities. Reflecting on current attitudes, my friend Haddon Robinson observes, if you want to get rich, invest in victimization. It's Americans' fasting industry. You know what though? You see that. If you look at any type of news, it's all about victimization. We're looking for victims. Everybody wants to play the victim. He points out that millions of people are becoming rich by identifying, representing, interviewing, treating, insuring, and counseling victims. Good leaders never embrace victim mentality. Never. Embrace. All caps. Never embrace victim mentality. They recognize that who and where they are remain their responsibility, not that of their parents, their spouses, their children, the government, their bosses, or their coworkers. They face whatever life throws at them and give it their best, knowing that they will get an opportunity to lead the team only if they prove that they can carry the ball. Take a look at the following characteristics of people who embrace responsibility. We call this characteristics of responsibility. Number one, get the job done. In the study of self made millionaires, Dr. Thomas Stanley of the University of Georgia, excuse me, of the University of Georgia, found that they all have one thing in common: they work hard. That's such a subjective statement, though. Work hard. What does that mean for many people? Maybe he'll explain it. One millionaire was asked why he worked 12, here it is, 12 to 14 hours a day. Jeez. He answered, it took me 15 years working for a large organization to realize that in our society, you work 8 hours for survival, and if you work only 8 hours a day, all you do is survive. Everything over 8 hours is an investment in your future. No one can do the minimum and reach the maximum potential. Wow. Now we don't even do 8 hours. No one can do the minimum and reach his maximum potential. How do people maintain a get it done attitude? They think of themselves as self-employed. If you want to achieve more and build your credibility with followers, adopt that mindset. It can take you far. Number two, they are willing to go the extra mile. Responsible people never protest. That's not my job. They're willing to do whatever it takes to complete the work needed by the organization. If you want to succeed, be willing to put the organization ahead of your agenda. Number 3, they are driven by excellence. All right. Excellence is a great motivator. People who desire excellence and work hard to achieve it are almost always responsible. And when they give their all, they live in peace. Success expert Jim Rohn says stress comes from doing less than you can. Make high quality your goal, and responsibility will naturally follow. Number 4, they produce regardless of the situation. The ultimate quality of a responsible person is the ability to finish. Right there, hitting you with the haymaker right there at the beginning. The ultimate responsibility of a responsible person ability to finish. Now that's something because he's saying the ultimate, the principle, the most important responsibility. In An Open Road, Richard L. Evans writes, "It is priceless to find a person who will take responsibility, who will finish and follow through to the final detail." Follow through to the final detail. To know when someone has accepted an assignment that it will be effectively, conscientiously completed. If you want to lead, you've got to produce. Reflecting on it. Gilbert Arland offers his advice. When an archer misses the mark, he turns and looks for the fault within himself. Failure to hit the bullseye is never the fault of the target. Talk now. To improve aim, improve yourself. Ooh. Is that the quote? Oh, yeah, that's part of his quote. Gilbert Are you on target when it comes to responsibility? Do others see you as a finisher? Do people look to you to carry the ball in pressure situations? Are you known for excellence? If you haven't been performing at the highest level, you may need to cultivate a stronger sense of responsibility. Now, give me patience because I be patient because I have to write all of that. Are you on target when it comes to responsibility? Do others see you as a finisher? Do people look to you to carry the ball in pressure situations? Are you known for excellence? Are you known for excellence? If you haven't been performing at the highest level, are you at the highest level? Okay, bringing it home. Here we go. Improve your responsibility. To improve your responsibility, do the following. How to improve responsibility. Number one, keep hanging in there. Sometimes an inability to deliver despite difficult circumstances can be due to a persistence problem. The next time you find yourself in a situation where you're going to miss a deadline, lose a deal, or fail to get a program off the ground, stop and figure out how to succeed. Think outside the lines. Can you work through the night? Can you call a colleague to help you? Can you hire a staff member or find a volunteer to help? Creativity can bring responsibility to life. Number two, admit what's not good enough. If you have trouble achieving excellence, maybe you lowered your standard. Look at your personal life for places where you let things slip. Then make changes to set higher standards. It will help you reset the bar of excellence for yourself. Number 3, find better tools. If you find that your standards are high, your attitude is good, and you consistently work hard, and you still don't achieve the way you like, get better equipped. That's why I'm reading this book. Improve your skills by taking classes, reading books, and listening to tapes. Find a mentor. Do whatever it takes to become better at what you do. Daily takeaway. An inmate at Butt County Jail. I wouldn't want to go to that one. Excuse me. Hopefully, I'm gonna say boutique, but that don't even sound better either. At Butt County Jail in California. I ain't going to that one. Explained his, I'm not going to any jail, but I'm definitely not going. That one's last on the list. Excuse me. Explained his absence from jail to sheriff deputies in this way. I was playing pole vault. I was playing pole vault, and I got too close to the wall and I fell over the wall. When I regained my senses, I ran around to try to find a way back in, but being unfamiliar with the area, got lost. Next thing I knew, I was in Chico. People sell people seldom realize how weak their excuses are until they hear some from others. Wow, that was funny. That was funny. Number 17. This was a good chapter for me because you have to realize that if you're not getting the results you want, instead of complaining, instead of pointing fingers, take responsibility. As I've learned from John Maxwell, everything rises and falls on the leader. On the leader. So, taking responsibility is one that I am going to take very seriously. But as you know, I'm going to go back over the entire book after I do this, go through my notes. Now, those, hopefully, I've never done that online, so we'll see how that goes. But either way, it's about being accountable. So let me just write this down. Number 17, security. Competence never and we'll close up to it right now, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.